Hello everybody, how are you going? And welcome back to some more Canadian TikToks that either show us how weird they are or how we can learn from their wonderful winter wisdom.
Here's some tips on how to dress for Canadian winters. Start with long johns, then add pants, shirt, and a sweater. Then you got your insulating layer. Now you're ready for a coat, not the wool kind, the warm kind. You'll need a scarf, hat, gloves, and boots. It's always really windy and cold, so you're going to need a longer jacket to cover your thighs and wear some snow pants as well. If there's a lot of snow, you're going to need some more booty or boots. It rains and snows simultaneously here, so grab a waterproof jacket and an umbrella. The rain here goes sideways and hits you in the face, so you're going to need a face mask. Finish off with earmuffs and glasses to protect your eyes from the glare off the snow. Now you're ready to enjoy Canada's wonderful winter weather.
There we go. Wait, hang on a second. At least he just continued the rhyming scheme, but and an umbrella. I don't know if that's the most ridiculous part there, but even still, to be having the umbrella while you're honestly probably, as someone said over here, bulletproof. I mean, I guess it does make sense if you are going to be prone to having rain, hail, sleet, snow, anything like that coming in sideways, you are going to want to be fairly bulletproof. Otherwise, you'll probably get, well, either frozen in half or chopped in half or both. So honestly, I think the most impressive part about this video is the fact that he didn't cook because he's inside. If he was outside, I can understand. And of course, you don't want to be getting dressed outside because then you're going to be frozen in half. But still, just to be putting on this many layers while the house is probably, I don't know, what, 20? If you just say 20 degrees, something nice and comfortable, then you were just going to be absolutely cooking. And even the fact, where was it? He said, not the wool kind, the warm kind. But that looks like wool to me. Is that not that kind? He's, because he took it off. I see. But honestly, like I said at the start, this is what I've always been wondering in terms of how do you actually dress for the cold? Because in Australia, you put on a t-shirt and then you put on a puffer jacket. Like that's basically it. And then if it rains, you'll put on a rain jacket instead of the puffer jacket. That's all you'll ever have. People don't know how to dress in layers, let alone own this many layers. I mean, I guess in a way I should actually count them. I'm just going to count the top. So that's 2, that's 3, that's 4 once the big one comes in. I mean, I'm not even counting the scarf, but then that's 5 there, 6 with the rain jacket. Anything else? There was 1 more, wasn't there? No. So we ended up with 6 layers on just his torso, not including head scarf, goggles, sunglasses, earmuffs, anything else that he had, the umbrella, nothing like that. That is, you were certainly going to be warm. Edmonton, the classic, but with a pan. I don't think I've ever really seen it with a pan, but that makes sense. I've seen it with kettles and it feels so dangerous. The fact that at the end there we saw that what was once boiling water came crashing back down on his head, but it was instantly snow. It's crazy. I mean, it makes sense because you are just having such an incredible surface area and spread out, so all that heat just instantly disappears. Everything just turns to snow, but it is very incredible. And I guess to a degree, it also helps support the idea that water can freeze faster from, well, higher temperatures. If you put boiling water in the freezer, it makes ice cubes faster than just room temperature water. That's the myth, or that's the idea, and this certainly seems to be just executing on that. Like I said, it's very vaporized, spread out, plenty of surface area, but man, you do not want to be having it just rain down in not a snow form.
Life in Canada.
Look at that.
Welcome to the snow this morning.
I certainly hope that that's an SUV.
If you still want to come to Canada, get ready for this.
Look at it. It's such the perfect blanket, but how thick is it actually? Okay, it's not that thick. It's what, maybe 50 mil? 2 inches, something like that? Either way, that's as much snow as Australia would ever get in an entire year, let alone just a little bit of a sprinkle overnight. No worries. Like, that's just crazy. And I don't understand how anyone ever drives. Like, especially given the fact that I'll say it again, why does no one use their garages to keep their cars out of the snow? Surely that just seems like the perfect solution. You put the car inside so you don't have to shovel the entire car and the driveway. I mean, I guess maybe that's why they don't bother, because like, well, I just got to shovel the driveway anyway, so in a way the car just keeps some of the driveway clear. But man, it's just crazy that people have to get up so much earlier when it's already pitch black, because it's just such a northern area that it's just the daylight hours are so short, and then have to do all this hard labor. I mean, I guess you're going to be keeping a little bit warm, but still, just to be having to do all of that every single day, let alone if you have a ute and then your entire tray is full of snow as well, it sounds like a real hassle. And as expensive as it is, and as upper class as it is, I can understand why people would want a heated driveway.
Whenever I go to Canada, I always go, how cold did you get up here? Guy goes, 50 below zero.
God.
I go, is that Fahrenheit or Celsius? He goes, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's the thing. I think, what is it, -40 is the crossover, so Fahrenheit I think is actually colder at minus 50? I'm going to have to check it, but I believe there is a rollover where the temperature is exactly the same. But generally speaking, no one ever cares about the temperature because it is so low. Where for these guys, they're like, yeah, we're ready for 6 months of it. We get down to minus 50 and that's without wind chill. Then we can just go down to minus 75. It's nuts. It's just ridiculous. I can understand how in some areas, like if you had like 4 people living in Siberia and a couple in Alaska and then a couple in northern Canada, I can understand how they get cold. But just for large groups of people just being going, yeah, no worries, like it's just a minus 50 degree day tomorrow. It doesn't compute. Oh man, look at that pillow top. Oh, cutting it like a cake. Oh, that's kind of nice, you know. Oh, we chuff it up, no worries. What's she doing with it? Have a munch? What? Why? Maybe you guys can help me out because I'm a little bit confused as to what she was doing there. I expected, okay, the bottle in, then I have 2 hands and I can chop it out so maybe I can put my plate down or I can just eat it. But then just to slice it up and then move on to the next bit makes no sense. I mean, maybe it's just a satisfying thing where you just chop it up and then you throw it away and then you just boil it down and throw it back up again. I don't know. I mean, it's a beautiful pillow top, both on the seats, both on the table, both on the floor, everything like that. But why? Is it actually a thing or is she just messing around?
What happens to a wet blanket
the
in minus
classic.
40?
Oh, it's already sticking to the bowl. Oh, and I bet that isn't even hot. Like it looks like it's been through a hot wash because it's steaming, but it's not. Oh, is he going to hang it up on the... Oh, he's going to hold it. Oh, is that going to make a weeping angel? Oh, no. Oh, lovely work. Even better work. Wow, that was just very, very well done. I would love to know exactly how long that took because it clearly was rigid enough just to be having a nice partner to dance with just by using himself. So it was fairly ingenious, to be honest. I expected him just to be hanging it off one of the top rails or something like that. But hey, just to be taking a wet blanket out and just be making your best friend, not too shabby. Like I said, I would love to know how long it took though as well, because if it is a wet blanket, you certainly don't want that wetness. I mean, I guess the clothes you're wearing are just made to be wet, but you don't want it to be seeping through. I think that's why I've heard that you don't ever want to be hot in a really cold area, because if you sweat, then your sweat can freeze and then you're really stuffed. That's at least what I've heard, and I'd love to know how Canadians are taught that or manage that, or if that's just a myth that I've heard. Oh man, how are you doing anything? Oh, this poor tractor. Oh no. Oh, how long? It sounds like it wants to though. Oh, it's going. Come on, the John Deere. Oh my God, how long is it? Come on, man. Jesus. Wow. It's kind of impressive, to be honest. The fact that it started at all is impressive, but the fact that it tried to start for that long, I mean, I guess he just held it down and it was just doing its best to attempt to start, but still, the fact that it didn't just go, and then that was it. Like, it just continually kept on going, and I'd love to know how old this tractor is. Are there advancements in cold weather tractor technology? Because whenever I think of farming, I don't exactly think of cold weather, because tractors like that for me are associated with crops, and the poor crops, if they have to live in an area like this, it's not going to be efficient farming. You want sun and water, so I don't know what's going on here, but man, is it impressive that the thing even started at all. And I guess that's just going to be, again, why people struggle with cars, or how do cars manage that? I think, don't you put like the plug-in electric blanket on the motor so the motor stays warmer? I think that's what you do, but this doesn't seem to be plugged in at all. So what, it's minus 20 degrees and the poor startup motor has to try and crank this massive tractor engine over. That's crazy. It's probably frozen solid.
Oh, hey bud, how are you
God.
now? Great weather we're having, eh? I'm going on a coffee run. You want anything? Did you just say great weather? This is not great. This is horrible. Oh no, bud. Snow always makes it feel 10 degrees warmer. Wait till it's gone, then it'll actually be chilly, eh? You want a ride or something? Oh, I appreciate it, bud, but I'm good. I'm gonna go for a walk and soak it in while I have a chance,
Oh,
eh?
no.
See ya.
Oh, jeez. I mean, you can just see that he's obviously comfortable in it, and I would love to know, it looks like he's getting spritzed, but then I guess it's just background snow. It just looks so fine. And I wonder if that is more dangerous because it's just instantly going to melt on you or on the road or anything like that. Either way, he's clearly built a little bit different to the other guy. He is not ready just to be going for a walk as he can barely drive. He's trying to get the ice off his car. And that just goes back to what I was saying before about how do you do anything in an efficient time frame? You got to plan like your entire day around just getting rid of ice, sleet, and snow. It's crazy. You spend, 5 hours on the road and 12 hours just cleaning your car if you were going to be doing those kind of ratios. It's just insane. But then I do want to know what the merit is behind what he said there in terms of when it's snowing, it's 10 degrees warmer. That's crazy. Why is it? Is it almost like a desert where deserts, obviously, let's say in Australia, can get very hot, but then at night, especially in winter, they can get very, very cold as all the heat just dissipates instantly. And so is the snow, it might not be the best analogy, but acting as a nice big blanket, a nice big jacket, and just keeping the temperature and the low troughs and high troughs in and out? Is that what's going on there? Why is snow, which is always the cold part in people's minds, the frozen water, the warm part? That has to be a model. There's no way. Unless there's some tilt shift going on here, there is no way I will ever believe that that is not a model. Surely. What? Surely. I'm just trying to read. Does anyone say miniature? Is that real? Real? Google it. There's just, what are you filming that from? Is that from a railway? There's no way. I mean, the trees look good, but what am I possibly looking at? It's just too frozen. Has it rained? Like, there's no way that everything can possibly be white. Is there? Everything white. Like, I understand having a pillow top and having snow and then a little bit of ice, but that's insane. Sure, what was that thing? That thing surely has to give it away. What is this? That's an artifact of something. Is it a bit of editing? Is it a bit of miniaturization? I don't know. Or no, I actually, don't worry. That's just blown up to infinity. Right. I'm still so confused. What am I looking at? Canada, Lake Erie. It's just ridiculous. Surely not. It's real. Google. I don't understand why the trees are not frozen outside. Yes, actually, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why is it just the houses and not the trees at all that are all frozen? There's no way it can be real. I mean, I guess the trees are to a degree going to be a little bit warmer than what concrete could be. Otherwise, the tree would be dead if the concrete just got to -40. And can the tree get to -40? I don't know. I feel like if it was just to get that cold, its entire structure would just crystallize and just honestly explode. And I feel like that is a thing. And also, when I think about the coldest areas in the world, I feel like it's just desolate. It is a winter frozen desert. There is no trees. There's a couple of animals that are just insane. That's always incredible that nature can find a way if it just puts enough fat on the animal, I guess, or if it's small enough, it can do it. But trees, I generally think that there aren't many trees in those areas, probably for that reason. And so, look, I'm sure that you can get these kind of houses or areas that it is just desolate and destructive and just dangerous in terms of how frozen it is. But honestly, just the fact that this one, I don't see how it can be true. Surely it's a miniature. Even just the way that the camera's moving. How would you possibly film this? It doesn't make any sense. It's an awesome miniature, or it's a terrible place to live. That would be me, honestly, just trying to get everything and then, sealing himself in as well. I mean, you just want to be insulating that top bit with some more blankets, but man, I don't know whether to be impressed by the fact that he managed to get in there or the fact that they managed to have that many blankets. That's crazy. I mean, it looks nice. It's nice and colorful, and I'm sure it's plenty warm enough if you were able to, you could be outside with that, just strap them down so they don't blow away, and there's no way the thermal resistance is going to be able to get all the way through that or from the outside in and the inside out, so you were going to be in an oven. So that's probably not the best thing either. But hey, you will be warm. Just out your front door, how deep is the snow? And that seems kind of dangerous. I don't know if that's recommended or not. I mean, it is kind of a solid mass, but then you were able to dig through it just fine. So I don't know. Is it dangerous? Could you have just a collapse in, or is it just such a massive structure in its own right that you can just tunnel through it as though it's dirt, sand, sandstone, granite, anything like that? I mean, of course, if you make this huge cavern and there's only a little bit above you, then it's going to be less dangerous, but also more collapsible. So, hey, I'd love to know. People do this. I've seen it plenty of times, but it's just crazy that you can open your front door and see nothing of the outside world, just see snow. Like, what, overnight it rained 2 meters, 3 meters? I don't know. It's ridiculous. Weather is wild.